happy, and Brandon's invisible, and this is Fussy Meeple. Just kidding.
Weird.
He's not invisible. Here he is.
Hi,
it was
Brandon.
fun to do the intro for once.
This is Bethany. Welcome to Fussy Meeple. Today we're not going to be playing a game. Instead, we're going to be catching up on some much-needed board game maintenance.
Yeah.
We've had Everdell Complete Collection for a while. We've
About
only
2
had
years, I think.
half of it stickered.
Oh, yeah.
Andromeda's Edge, we've had for about, 4 or 5 months now.
Yeah, just a few months.
And we got the Deluxe All-In with
all the
card sleeves and stuff like that. Yeah. And playing Nemesis Lockdown yesterday reminded me that I have yet to sleeve the cards in Andromeda's Edge. I have that. I also have, I think it's...
Everdell is sleeved.
Yes.
We did get it sleeved pretty quickly.
I mean, yeah, that's the easy part.
Yeah, I know. You don't want to help me sticker things, and I have nails. But look at that cute little pig.
I was about to say, terrible at stickering myself, and I'm not going to put myself through that self-induced rage.
No, whatever.
So I'm going to be sleeving Andromeda's Edge, and I believe that's what, Heat as well? Or no, that's Thunder Road.
That's Thunder Road. Those are Thunder Road sleeves, I believe.
Did we not? I thought we did sleeve Thunder Road. Or was it only the smaller cards? I
think it was just the small cards.
Okay, I'll figure that out.
Those definitely don't look like Heat. They're not the right size either for Heat, I don't think. But
no, valid. It is Thunder Road.
Yeah.
So one thing you'll know with the Andromeda's Edge is you do have plenty of cards, and with that you get plenty of sleeves. So, question goes out to our viewers: what some board games you haven't not necessarily neglected, but forgotten about, to where you have sleeves sitting off to the side, stickers sitting inside the box.
Or do you even bother to sticker and sleeve?
I was about to say, and is it on purpose? Because for some games, I just don't sleeve them.
Oh, yeah.
Nemesis reminded me yesterday kind of why I don't sleeve games.
Stabbed my nose.
I was about to say, well, no.
Well, okay, that annoyed me. Sorry.
Sleeving definitely has its perks. It has its place. It's just some games I definitely prefer to sleeve, and some games I prefer not to sleeve. And it's not because sleeving is bad in any way, shape, or form. It's just, is it really worth it? Like my game Battle Line, I could get sleeves for it. It's mainly a card game. And I have debated it because of how often we play it.
We do play that one a lot.
Yep.
But it would make it hard to stack.
I was going to say, it'd make it difficult to stack.
Stacking sleeve cards is hard.
Yep. Because the thing is, sleeve cards, if you don't have enough or too much pressure as you're holding the stack of cards, that's probably going to fall apart on you.
Slide.
The sliding effect is nice, especially for if you're using just a normal dining table, because now the cards can slide a lot easier if that's what you're looking for.
Making a mess.
Yes. But that's what we're doing today.
Yes.
Whenever it comes to games we got in, the only game we got in this week so far is Azul Duel. Yes. Still trying to learn that one. It's a little bit more, there's a little bit more mechanic to it than just normal Azul. So before we kind of play that or post videos on it, I want to make sure we understand what we're talking about before we talk to y'all.
For sure. The other game we have coming in supposedly today, I don't trust FedEx, is Critter Kitchen. I got the shipping notification a few days ago. It left Dallas at 2 o'clock this morning. So theoretically, we could get it today, but I don't foresee that happening.
I was about to say, Critter Kitchen, we did get our shipping label notification for Dice Throne.
Yes.
Which hopefully we get that before the end of February. That was one of our February anticipated games. But I'm awesome. Okay. Can't scoot my chair forward because my big old husky is down here.
Husky things.
But we are hoping we get Dice Throne in still. That'll be another fun one.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of it for really on the horizon for this month still.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
It. I honestly was not expecting Critter Kitchen this month. I forgot about it. So when I got the shipping notification, I was like, ooh, yeah.
Retaliation's going to be coming up, allegedly.
Allegedly.
That one will surprise me.
That one, yeah, I don't know. I mean, because y'all, when we were playing Lockdown yesterday, y'all mentioned April. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's when I'm supposed to be getting Stalker. And I feel like those campaigns did not happen at the same time, but maybe they did.
They were around the same time.
Were they?
Yep, and that's why I was on the fence about Stalker. Because I just dropped big money on Retaliation. Because...
That's fair. And Stalker was another pretty expensive game.
Yep. So whenever it comes to that, now kind of moving on to our news, I'm not going to be doing a Ticket to Ride series because I was setting up to record those videos. I got an overhead camera set up to kind of explain some of it. And I may do them, like I can still do them, so I may. But I'm going to try to re-gear to something more current. Like we just got Oh, that is a game we got in this week. Finspan.
Oh, Finspan!
Yep.
Fishies! Look, it's fucking Oh my gosh, I know. Oh, look at that little guy. He's cute.
Yeah.
Look at that little flying fish.
Finspan is probably the only Stonemaier game that we've hesitated on purchasing.
We did, but then I saw the pretty fishy cards.
I was about to say, and then Bethany saw that it was about fish, and we all know Bethany loves fish.
That's not nice.
Or sorry, it's not love, it's I like fish.
I like fish. And y'all don't know that inside joke, and that's okay.
So, just like Wormspan was an immediate purchase, because I know I'm into dragons, she's really big into cute dragons, and they have baby dragons, and they have this and that. So that was an instant buy. Finspan was one of those.
We sort of hesitated on that one. We still bought it, obviously.
Yeah. I was like, I hesitated on it only because it's like, okay, is this too much? Are we ever actually going to get it to the table?
We probably will.
The mechanics of it have changed a little bit.
Oh, vertical board versus horizontal board. I still feel like it's the
and
same.
how it's not the same play style per se. Similar, but not the same.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be focusing on a video on that, on the span versus wingspan versus Wormspan versus Finspan, and kind of go over the mechanics of each, the complexity of each. So that way, if you're like, which one's... I've always used Wingspan as a gateway game almost, but, kind of on that outer edge. Huh?
You argued with me on that one, sir.
Ish.
I changed your mind, and you don't want to admit that.
We'll be going a video on gateway games here soon, but, so Wingspan being a gateway game, but Finspan being a little bit more, allegedly being a little bit easier to play.
Yes.
Wormspan, of course, being the more complex of the three. I know it's more complex than Wingspan, but still not a complex game.
No. Do you want to play a game of Guess That Animal?
Turtle?
Oh, man. Yeah, you're probably right. I don't know. Let's see.
Or no, it's probably the squirrel.
It's the turtle.
Oh, is it the turtle?
It's the turtle.
Oh, look at me.
That's definitely a turtle shell.
Yep.
Okay. The color's not quite on, but yeah, that's a turtle. Thank you.
No problem.
Squirrel. Oh, no, it's not the squirrel.
But going over a video more current, like trying to keep with the current news, kind of like these weekly podcasts.
It's like we all know about Ticket to Ride.
Yeah.
And while I don't think there's not any... there's nothing wrong with doing another video on Ticket to Ride. But it's just...
It's not the current topic.
Yeah. It's like there's other... Oh no! Don't eat my turtle.
Speaking of current topics, we have board game conventions coming up this year. We did just make the decision. We're going to be attending, as Bethany goes off screen, we will be attending Token Con.
Hey, don't say I'm off screen. Too late. Yes.
We will be attending Token Con for sure. That's going to be up in Oklahoma City.
That one, we're for sure.
Just need to secure either we're going to be trying to reside with Buddy or we're going to be getting an Airbnb. Yes. And then for the next one, BGG Con,
is a possibility.
We're looking into that one as a possibility.
Yes.
That one, unfortunately, we don't have any friends or anything like that living in that area.
No.
We're going to be taking our 3 dogs with us. So...
Yes. And that one's
if
longer.
I either need to find a dog sitter or we need to find an Airbnb that takes 3 dogs.
That will take 3 dogs. And then if we have people who are... We know people who are also going to BGG Con. We might do a split an Airbnb situation. There's just a lot more factors into that one.
Yep. So we decided on TokenCon for sure, just because that one's gonna be a simple,
right.
6-hour
The
drive.
dates
Get
fall
up
in
there.
line with my break from work. It's a spring break for me that week, so I don't even have to take PTO days or anything.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the FlameCon summer, we're not gonna be able to attend. We're gonna be doing a family family trip around that time frame.
Yes.
And we wouldn't be coming back until the tail end of that.
No, we'd be coming back the day it starts.
We'd be coming back the day it starts?
Yeah.
Maybe go for a day.
Yeah, well,
like a Saturday badge.
I think our last day up in Minnesota is the 11th. That's our last day. And then we have to drive back down. And I'm pretty sure the 11th, I think the 12th is the last day. So
12th is the last day
of FlameCon. But I'm not 100% sure on that one, but I know our last day in Minnesota is the 11th.
Yeah. So that one we're definitely not going to be going.
Not the full thing if we go.
We are not doing a vendor booth anymore.
No. It was fun. We learned a lot.
Yep. Made some friends.
We did. But we also learned that when we go to conventions, we would rather game and hang out with people than sit at a booth. And that's a place where we usually get some of our bigger games to the table that we don't get to play as often.
Which, speaking of getting bigger games to the table, we had our second game night at Gamers Gym. We do it typically at Gamers Gym just because it's closer.
It is. It's very close.
It's about a 15-minute drive versus anywhere between 35 to 48-minute drive for all the other locations. So we've been going to Gamers Gyms to bring out Nemesis, and that's honestly been successful.
That's been a lot of fun.
I unfortunately learned the hard way that my win was not actually a win, it was a loss.
Yeah.
Because if a CSS pod launches, it's not your CSS pod, you get kicked out of your CSS pod, you take a serious win. Yeah. Which, that's just rude, but that's Nemesis for you.
We all failed together yesterday. That was a brutal game, though. We spawned a lot of baddies right up front. Yep.
So we've been doing game nights there. We host smaller game nights here. But we've definitely been doing some of the larger games and bringing them out. We plan on continuing to do that.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta figure out what games we're bringing up to Oklahoma.
Figure out what David wants to play.
Yep. But TokenCon's definitely the one we're most excited for when it comes to conventions.
Yes.
Just because I was there at the beginning, at their first one. I was there at the first couple, went through COVID, went to the next one. And since then, since we've left, they've upgraded their venue.
Oh, did they?
Yep, they're in a larger venue now.
Oh, yay! I mean, I liked the venue they were at before, but
they
were definitely sizing out of it.
Yep. So it's excited to see where the TokenCon team has been able to bring their convention, because it has been. It's been
our
like
friends
a year.
Are sponsors.
Yep. Gilded Greyland are premium sponsors for the event.
For this
that's a group of friend of ours.
Yes.
Great place for those of y'all in Oklahoma. Great place to go for board games to play, buy, just whatever.
Yes. So fun. And they do like fun themed nights too, which I'm sad we're missing all of those. Yeah. But those are fun.
And then also, for the board game news for this week's video, we're going to be going over GameFound versus Kickstarter.
Yes.
So GameFound kind of came out of the woodworks, especially they've been doing a hard push this past year of being the better of the two. Right. You know, Kickstarter has been around a lot longer, has been the go-to for so many years, and then GameFound came around, they're like, hey, we do better vetting. You know, we know you're going to get your game if you back through us.
Their built-in pledge manager.
They had stretch pay to where a designer or a creator can decide, hey, pay within this many months or this many months, and they just pull it. Which, at the end of the day, like, we know the saying, if you don't have the money at the moment to buy the game, don't buy the game. Yeah. But it's very nice, especially in the fall. Whenever you have all these different games releasing at the same time. and you're not going to be getting them for 2 years, 1 to 2 years already. So why not, like, hey, let me split the payment up, and maybe, you know, it not hit as hard. And unfortunately,
especially on some of those bigger games,
GameFound was getting better and better, and Kickstarter didn't have an answer for it until this year. So Kickstarter's finally starting to realize, like, hey, you know, this is starting to hurt us.
come on, Froggy.
So some things Kickstarter announced this year is they're doing the
what are they calling theirs? It's their version of stretch pay over time.
Yep, they're doing their pay over time.
Yeah.
Which allows creators to, you know, they can enable it, and then people can do basically the same thing as stretch pay. I think they allowed it to 4 months only. Or at least that's how the article read, while GameFound seems to be a little more flexible with it.
And this pay over time is not yet available to all creators on GameFound. Or not GameFound, sorry, Kickstarter. It's not available to all creators yet. They're doing a slow rollout of it. But they said hopefully by spring that it will be an available option for all creators.
Mm-hmm. So that's definitely a good. Kickstarter is building or is enabling, and once again, all of these options are for a few creators currently. My guess is they're trying to get some of the bugs out before they put it out to the masses, as you should. Right. But they are doing their own pledge manager as well, which I never realized how big of a deal that was until I started using GameFound more with my game purchases, and just the how nice it was. I can go to GameFound, I can look at all my games, see what's in Pledge Manager. Hey, let me finalize my Pledge Manager, let me do this. Like, it made the crowdfunding experience a lot more enjoyable, a lot more simple. Kickstarter,
and having to jump to backer it or other things,
backer
just makes it
GameFound. Sometimes sometimes
you would kickstart something and then they send you to GameFound for
the Pledge Manager,
which is just wild. That was a confusing one, yeah.
So it is good to see. It is good to see that Kickstarter's kind of getting back into the game. I don't think it's too late for Kickstarter. They've been around. They have that name established. Yeah. And the nice thing about Kickstarter is GameFound is more board game related, more big board game related. Yes. While I can go to Kickstarter for just about anything. Yes. For my 3D printing business, I backed one of the electric screwdrivers that they had. One of our friends does a book, how to design board games that he kickstarts every year and adds a new chapter to. So Kickstarter definitely has its place. Yes. It's just
more for your indie designers.
Yeah, whenever it came to your board game centric, more and more people were moving to GameFound. Yes. So it's nice to see that Kickstarter is trying to answer some of those questions that people have had, like, hey, why have we not updated? Yeah. Surfing through GameFound versus Kickstarter. GameFound's UI has updated recently, it seems like, on the normal desktop versus the phone. Oh. And I do have to admit, it's nice. It's very easy to kind of cycle through. Hey, what games have stretch pay? What games are upcoming? What games are here already? What games are funded? Another thing Kickstarter is doing is they're changing. One thing I want to bring up, they're changing their vetting process. Yes. They are trying to protect. They're not only trying to make it better for the creators, they're also trying to protect the buyers, which is a great deal. They're changing up their vetting to make sure that some of the creations are not as volatile or a little bit more safe of a bet. And additionally, one thing they're doing, it's one thing I never realized they didn't do, but one of their updates is, we're now going to tell you when the game doesn't fund. Right. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If they've always told you if it doesn't fund, like if they've always sent you a notification. but they're making it sound like they haven't before and now they're going to.
Right. Yeah, the way that the article was worded was that now if a project is not going to fund or they're not on track, or not necessarily not going to fund, but not be fulfilled.
Yeah.
So if a project was funded, but now it's not going to be fulfilled, or it's not on track to be fulfilled, and the creator has not come forward with that information, now it appears that Kickstarter will be coming forward with that information and letting people who pledgees.
Backers.
That's
Backers
the word.
The word.
Pledgees sounded not right. Letting backers know that, hey, we see that there's issues happening with fulfillment, and these are the steps we're taking with the creator to make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen again, or to kind of mediate that issue, to kind of help resolve that problem, which I think is pretty cool that they're stepping in to kind of help out with that kind of thing, because
we still have,
yeah,
or not we, so there still are some games that have been successfully Kickstarted.
They successfully funded.
And just year after year after year, people have not received their game. They get updates of, and one thing that infuriated me, some of the games are back, hey, we need more money for shipping.
Oh,
and we'll get into that a little bit later. But, like, just the constant update, hey, we need more money to ship our game. Hey, we need more of this. Hey, we released our next chapter before. It's stressful for backers to not receive their games. Correct. Now, at the end of the day, before anybody goes crazy.
We know. We understand that Kickstarter, GameFound, all of that, you are not guaranteed product.
I was about to say.
For sure.
I think GameFound, you're guaranteed. GameFound has the guarantee.
Yeah, they do. But Kickstarter, it's not a guarantee.
Yeah, it's like, because they do make you sign, or not sign, they do make you check a box saying, I understand that this is just, nothing's guaranteed. This is just kind of a hopeful. But at the end of the day, if you are a business saying, hey, give me this much money and I'll give you this, and you can't deliver, there should be ramifications. So it seems like Kickstarter is going that route of, hey, let's try to help the backers out as well. Let's try to make it to where we hold creators accountable. Now to go with that, we have had, which game? There was one game that their stock got pushed back from being delivered.
Which one?
I'll have to look into it.
Is it one that we backed?
No. Food Chain Magenta.
Oh.
I think is one of them.
Magnate, not Magenta.
Food Chain.
See, we both goobered. Pledgees, Food Chain Magentas. Food Chain Magnate.
So, Food Chain Magnate, article came up about how
that one did get paused.
Yep.
I did read that this morning.
Their delivery got paused because of the volatile state of tariffs. And that does kind of add on to the complications of Kickstarters. Because I've had, during COVID, that was the main time where, like, I'd get a notification, hey, you need to pay for shipping. It's like, I've already paid for shipping. What do you mean? And then I have to pay more for shipping just because, prices have risen. Some companies have made their pledgees or backers.
You're not going to let me live that down, are you?
Absolutely not. Have made them pay the extra, which is understandable.
Yeah, I get that.
But at the same time, some have taken the hit for it.
Yes.
And either way, I do understand, especially with right now, with the volatility of the...
For sure.
Not necessarily a trade war going on just yet, but one brewing. It is going to have some complications. It is going to bring about some rise in prices. So I'm definitely kind of keeping an eye on it, and that's something y'all may want to keep an eye on too. If y'all are back games and they're about to ship, or
they may start asking for more money for shipping costs.
Yep, that's like just keep in mind that just because hey, I'm pledging $200, it says shipping is going to be $20. Make sure you have a little bit extra set aside for that game.
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry. At the end of the day, that's not a board game company trying to screw us over.
No.
That's not a creator, like a small creator trying to mess us up.
Yeah.
Because, shipping cost is shipping cost. I'm a firm believer that whenever it comes to shipping costs, they're not making profit off of it. No. If they're breaking even, that's the best case scenario.
The shipping companies, yeah, they probably make a profit off of it. But
I was about to say, yeah.
The people shipping stuff, they're not making profit.
So just kind of being mindful of that. So hopefully here in the near future, all these updates from Kickstarter are supposed to be gearing
available to all creators, yeah.
Yep. In 2025. Mm-hmm. So hopefully within, I'd say what?
Couple months.
Yeah.
They're saying by spring. So I'm guessing by April, May.
I don't know, down here in Texas, spring seems so far away.
I know, why is it so? Don't even start. If we have other people that are up where it's like in the negatives. I don't know. It's been unreasonably cold for Central Texas this week.
Y'all chose to live up north. And for my military folk, y'all know what you got yourselves into.
Yeah, well, so do you now.
Texas should not be this cold.
It should not be this cold. My kids have been on indoor recess all week because of how cold it is. And anybody who teaches elementary school, you want the recess.
We've had to cancel PT this week because it was too cold. The ridiculousness of that.
No recess at all this week. It's wild.
So hopefully it warms up.
My kids are antsy.
It becomes a little nicer out.
It's sunny today at least.
It is. It is nice out today. But that's it for this weekly's video. Yeah. We're going to finish up with this real quick, and then we're going to get everything off the table, and we're going to record this week's main video, other than the podcast, is we talked about yesterday.
I know, I forgot. What was it?
How to be a good game host.
Oh, yes, hosting game nights.
Our tips to be a better game host. We're kind of going through how to make game night enjoyable for
all levels of gamers.
Yeah, all levels of gamers, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
But other than that, for our weekly podcast, that's it for us. We'll see you guys later. Take it easy. Bye. Ooh.